The way that he broke this junk down, and it's not about white or black, it's about rich and poor. In the circumstances that people in the hood grow up, it is a clear disadvantage as opposed to across the tracks. Bugzy Malone. Bugzy Malone. Welcome to my hood. Bugzy, when you come with that title, the song better be popping. No ifs, ands, or buts, or what have you, or and none of that. It better come correct. Bro, okay, my bad. Bugzy. My bad, Bugzy. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna shut up, and I'm gonna sit in my corner. I'm gonna sit in my corner till somebody call me my guy. Oh, what did this beat do to you? What's been on your mind? I know you had the car accident, and you had a lot of time to think, but good gracious, welcome to the hood. Oh, that line. Oh man, that line. Oh. I'm not trying to get it into no toxic masculinity discussion, but that toughen up. You whenever you consistently tell a kid to toughen up whenever they're younger, you gotta understand that a callus. I mean, they will be callous. A callus will be formed around them, and they will be numb to certain things. So, oh. Bugzy. See, the beat was laid out, the foundation was laid out. Then the beat saw Bugzy about to, with his pen in his bag, and it was just like this.
It was at this moment that he knew.
The beat knew that it was dead. The beat knew. That bar about depression and anxiety, that is such a true statement. Like, even to this day, I'm still, I don't necessarily want to say ashamed to speak about mental health. It's like that there's no weight to it. Like there's no merit. Like the way that I grew up, being depressed just meant that you were sad. And there was no such thing as being clinically diagnosed or clinically depressed because medicine was never really an option. It's nothing that we even considered. It's like whether it be depression, anxiety, any of those things, we never talked about. One, because it just never was considered a big deal. Two, mom was never really around to sit and talk about it. Three, well, it's because she worked 3 jobs, and whenever she was home, she was typically asleep. But 3, probably because her parents never talked about it. And as I drive through my old neighborhood, I see the faces of some of the people that walk down the street and hang out, and I shake my head, and it brings me to a really dark place, because it took me a long time to actually realize that being depressed isn't just being sad, and there's a lot of outside factors that could have you depressed for a long time. It's something that isn't taught and brought in the households for people to know, and it's on point, which is another good point. In rough neighborhoods, one, we are typically looked at as bad people. the crime rate is higher. So those two coincide. So because of that portrayal, a lot of people feel like they're just not good enough. Whether it's not good enough in life, not good enough for good things to happen to them, not good enough to have a relationship with God. That thought is always being pushed to a point that we believe it. And for anybody that thinks I'm lying, notice the small things. Like whenever you're in an elevator and it's just you and somebody else, and that person could be of a different origin, I'll say, or different ethnic group, and see how they react. Whether they clench their purse, whether they stand with their back against the wall, whether they start playing on their phone, act like they're on a phone call, or if you're walking down the street and they hop on the other side, or they look, or you notice these things. So if you're constantly taught that ain't no heaven for a thug, or if you've done so many bad things, there's no turning back, who you gonna pray to? Why would you? After hearing songs like this, it's so hard to gather my thoughts, which is why I stopped so much during the actual recording of the video, so I can get all my thoughts out. But there's nothing that I can say that he didn't already say. There's a reason why this song just came out, or he just dropped the video, or what have you, and it's got this many views. Man, that just speaks to me. Yo, this junk is crazy. This dude is crazy talented, man. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the hood. And the way that he broke down the whole song is like, there's nothing to glorify this. Like, there's no reason why this should be glorified. Don't be ashamed of where you're from. But the way that he broke this junk down, and it's not about white or black, it's about rich and poor. In the circumstances that people in the hood grow up, it is a clear disadvantage as opposed to across the tracks. That's the way he broke this junk down. It gives you a clear insight into his perspective of what he was going through, or what anybody who lives in the hood or a impoverished area or urban community, whatever you want to call it. Yo, dog, this is crazy, man. Oh my goodness. Bugzy, you mad genius. You mad genius. No, sometimes you just gotta tip your hat off. You're like, oh yeah, he cold. Every song I listen to, it surprises me, because the first song I had no expectations. Second song, it went a completely different route. Third song, every single time, Bugzy. Oh my. Yo, I need more recommendations like this. Welcome to the hood.